everybody's health today?
Everybody's good as far as I know. Didn't do anything. The guys came in and got treatment and getting ready to go to San Antonio.
How gratifying are you to be in this spot? And, here before the season, nobody was saying that the Warriors were capable of being where you are right now, and yet here you are, best 2 out of 3 to go to the conference finals.
Well, it's a great place to be. It's a great story. It's an incredible blessing. I look at my guys, obviously, the job that they've done. It's great to see them getting recognition. This incredible fan base is special to be relevant at this time. Just talking to Bob Myers a couple of minutes ago, and last year this time we was on our way to meetings in Chicago for pre-draft stuff. It's unbelievable to realize we're still playing basketball, and we're in a best of 3 against the San Antonio Spurs, who we have the ultimate respect for.
Do you think there was any doubt that this team could win an ugly game like they won yesterday when both teams shot under 40%, where you didn't have Steph or Clay shooting lights out? Was there any doubt in this team that they could do what they did?
No. And that's because what we preached from day one. We are a defensive-minded team. The culture has truly changed. There was a time where the Golden State Warriors couldn't win a game unless they were making shots. This team has bought in on the defensive end. They take great pride in it. They battle, and I thought it was a huge win for us, especially when things were not going our way. We got it done defensively.
But has their resiliency surprised even you? And how do you explain it?
Not surprised at all. They're a tied together team, and I said, the other day, it's tougher to let go of the rope when you're together. This is a team that's truly playing for one another and truly trying to take advantage of their moment. It's a great story, and I'm just glad that people are catching on and giving these guys credit, because it's an incredible group of men.
Coach, in the opener, Curry didn't have a shot going. That was probably the first ugly, scrap it out, grind it game at Phoenix. Was that like
Phoenix,
at Phoenix in the opener?
Okay.
Was that kind of a good precedent to set to start the season for where you guys are now?
That was, to me, it helped cement the message, because you can talk about winning ugly, you can talk about winning on the defensive end, but when you can, miss shots and play bad, but your defense keep you in the ball game, it puts a stamp on just what you're trying to accomplish. So I think at the end of the day, that probably was a seed that was planted, and you saw it come into play in Game 4.
It seems like when you look at some of the higher points of the season, the Miami game, it always comes down to some kind of grind, grit, slug it out type of thing. You say you're not surprised. Has this been something that's developed over the year, or did these guys have it start in October?
Well, that's a great question. I think they had it, but it was, it was in its early stages. I think it gets birthed through adversity, through being on the road, through practice, through coming here early. All of those moments. The rookies, the day after the draft, last year rookies with them, the veterans here after Labor Day, practicing. Losing game, winning games, guys not making the All-Star team, guys not getting 6th Man of the Year, executive not making, not getting executive of the year, probably our rookies not getting the recognition they deserve. All of those things come into play, and it's a tied together group. And what we're realizing is, foundation was laid even last year in the middle of a 23-win season when nobody let go of the rope, when it seemed crazy to think that this day could really happen, and we're not done.
Did we see a glimpse of the future yesterday with Harrison Barnes as a guy that the 26 shots, 9 more than he's ever taken in a game, but that's a guy who could be a go-to guy who you want to take 20 shots in a game?
When you say a go-to guy, you're talking about like Kevin Durant?
Well, similar, yeah.
You want me to take your badge?
You said Kevin Durant. I didn't say Kevin.
Okay. No, I will say this. We've seen a guy grow up right before our very eyes. I thought he had an outstanding regular season that put us in position to be the 6th seed, and he played a huge part as a starter. But I think as soon as the regular season stopped and the postseason started, he has certainly elevated his game. He's embraced the moment, he's embraced the spotlight, and he's played with tremendous poise and great confidence. And yesterday with Steph being less than 100%, we needed him to be aggressive. And here's a guy that early on kept us in the ball game because he was the one guy attacking the paint area, looking to make plays. And I didn't know until after the game he shot that many times, which is great because I didn't think he took a bad shot. He's been off the charts in this postseason, and I think he's gonna grow from it. And it's scary to think just how good he's going to be.
He seems like such an unselfish player. Does he have to be nudged every once in a while to take his shot?
He's got to be nudged because he looks down the depth chart. Let's say our regular starting 5. Well, Steph's going to shoot more than him. Clay's going to shoot more than him. David's going to shoot more than him. And then at best, he's going to get the 4th most shots in that starting lineup. It's a learning process. He had to figure out during the course of the year how to get his shots. And in the postseason, he's realized it. And he's been aggressive also, because the one thing about those guys, even though they're going to get their shots, it's not like they're going in thinking that. Whoever's open is going to get the basketball and going to be unselfish. And it's great to see how Harrison is playing.
Coach, I've seen reports that Steph got maybe a shot or two before he went out and played. I saw a report that Bogut got a shot or two. How closely do you want to monitor that? How worried are you about overshooting the guys to go out there?
We have an incredible staff. We got great doctors, and this organization is not going to compromise any of our players. I'm not a doctor, but the best way I can explain it is anti-inflammatory pills. Instead of just the pills, now it's actually going in. So it's not pain killing. It's eliminating the swelling and all of that. We've got better guys that can explain it, but we are not going to put our guys in any position to sacrifice their future as basketball players or as men, husbands, fathers, etc.
All after Game 3 that you went from watching ESPN and the internet to putting away your laptop, and now here we are again, kind of in a similar situation. What has it been like managing the emotions of this series?
As a coach or to this team?
For both, really.
I have no problem managing my emotions. I understand that this is just a game. This is just basketball. This does not define me or my team. So I don't get caught up in it. As far as my team, I understand. And I think the more you push it away, realizing that this is basketball, realizing that we're not as great as they say and we're not as bad as they say, we have an assignment. We have a mission. And the objective is to stay on course. So I think being the guy that's the coach, and it's important for me to make sure we're on the right path. But this is a team that's been there and done that. We're not going to get caught up in it.
How many times did you have to call Beatrice?
Actually, it was about, I would say 3 or 4. And probably the 3rd time, even the guys was looking at me like, "Did you just say Beatrice?" But this, I've said it all along. Just because a guy is not playing does not mean that I don't believe in him. You can't play everybody, and I got extreme confidence. I'm very comfortable with putting him in the ball game. He's an elite defender on the block and also in pick and roll situations. He's an elite rebounder. So he's a guy that can have an impact on the game, and I thought he gave us great minutes on the floor, and was key to us winning the ball game.
He did say that he kind of knows what Tim Duncan likes to do, even if it's not always able to stop it. But at least he knows kind of what he's done, having played against him so much.
It doesn't mean anything because I know what he's going to do, and he score on me. He's a big-time defender, and he gives us another body that can go out there when called upon to do the job.
What did going to a zone yesterday do for you?
Up until that point, I believe we played zone 2 possessions, and 3 games, and they were 2 for 2 with 2 3-pointers. I just thought it was a way of disrupting them, getting them out of rhythm. And I got a staff that probably they're not as sold on the zone as I am. So I had to even go further towards half court because as I told us to go into the zone, my staff is looking at me like, don't do it, don't do it. So it was just a way to try to disrupt their rhythm a little bit, and I thought it was successful for the first time.
Coach, I know you're coaching the game, but I mean, a lot of us were watching the game. We're also checking out Twitter, and it's just crazy to look at how Jared Jack toggles the line between absolutely adored 1 minute and scoring the next, and then back to love the next minute. I mean, as far as Jack goes, I mean, do you think that fans truly appreciate what he brings out there?
Well, there are some fans that appreciate what he brings. There's some that take it for granted, and you don't realize it until he's gone. Not only that, you can talk about the media also. They talk about his over dribbling and his bad shot selection and how he cost us a game. And I mean, so don't just give the credit to the fans. But at the when it's all said and done, this is a guy that I believe in. This is a guy that's a gamer. He's a true professional. He embodies what this team is all about, and he plays with an edge. And he made big time plays on all afternoon long in Game 4. And down the stretch, hit big shots. So he's a guy that you can write, you can tweet, you can do whatever you want. You might as well get used to him. It's